Hey everyone, welcome to Married to the Market podcast. I'm Cameron Stoffel, wife, mom of 3, salon owner, and full-time realtor with Town & Country Realtors.
And I'm Shane Stoffel, husband, father, mortgage lender with Motto Mortgage Preferred Partners, and we are married to each other and kind of married to the market too.
Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for content and educational purposes only. We're sharing stories, insights, and opinions from our own experiences in the industry.
We also want to disclose that Town & Country Realtors and Motto Mortgage Preferred Partners are partnered companies, and yes, we are legally married, just keeping everything transparent so we can stay compliant.
This podcast is where we get real about marriage, parenting, and real estate. The messy, exciting, sometimes overwhelming, but always meaningful parts of life. If you're building a home, a family, or a future, you're in the right place.
So today's episode, juggling family, work, and first-time home buying.
Yeah, episode number 2, Married to the Market. So, real life behind the scenes, balancing careers and parenthood.
Yeah, this has been new to us, obviously, having 3 young children, but we're getting through it, trying something new, trying to figure out what works for us, and definitely balancing.
Yeah, a lot of balancing, a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we make it look smooth and easygoing, but behind the scenes it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially just juggling all the things.
Yeah, and crazy for someone else is normal to us now, so it's actually easier when it's just by ourselves, because whenever you introduce other people, they're like, wow, how do you do this? But to us, it's like we just do it. So
yeah, we're in survival mode, so we're just
not really, it's our new life, so it's it's not that bad.
No, I feel like newborn stage is still survival mode, though. You know?
Yeah, luckily they, our kids sleep through the night for the most part. We put them down 9-10 o'clock. They wake up 7 to 9 o'clock, and they're pretty predictable. They're mad when they're hungry, tired, so.
When one gets mad, then it's like a ricochet. They all get mad.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we'll be having our day, and then if one baby gets mad, and then all 3 of them will start throwing a fit, and Chance and I will just kind of look at each other, and we stay really quiet, and we'll just look in silence with like a little smile, and it's like, we're going through it.
Mm-hmm.
This too shall pass.
It is laughable because sometimes it's all of them crying at once, and you don't know what they need. Sometimes it's just time, so you just let them cry. But the question was balancing careers and parenthood, so we're balancing our kids, keeping them alive, and doing all the things necessary, especially with the twins early on. I mean, personally, the name or which baby it was didn't really matter as long as they're thriving and doing well. So I just pick them up and go with the flow. I mean, you didn't have time to figure out who's who with identical twins, so
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, no. So
fed, changed, and doing good. That's all we cared about. But what our weekly schedules really look like. Chance and I've tried to put a couple schedules into place of like, he goes to work 3 days a week, and then I stay home with the kids, and then I'll go to work 3 days a week, and he'll stay home with the kids. Now we do have one day on Wednesdays, today, where we can both go to work, and it's perfect for the podcast, and it's nice for us too. And we do as family, so my sister actually comes to our house, and she brings her kids, and she watches our kids, and they kind of just have a pool day in the summer. So that's been super helpful, and gives us some time to work.
Yeah, your sister's been a huge help. Like last night we went to a networking event, and we were able to drop the kids off at the house, and we ran a little late, and my brother-in-law, Chris, he was like, hey, you forgot 3 things at our house. It was nice because, they fed them dinner and stuff, and likewise when we watched their kids, but it's definitely a tremendous help, I think, for both families. They homeschool their kids, so in the future we'll kind of model that with our kids, hopefully, with their guidance, and there's some local homeschooling co-ops that we'll try to utilize and build relationships with and maybe be a part of, but
and our schedules are going to change at that point when we're trying to homeschool.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing how that looks for us. But, homeschooling only takes a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
So that is super helpful. And
we'll cross that path when it comes.
Yeah,
right now
we have a ways.
Our kids are learning how to crawl and don't even know how to read, and we're just keeping people alive. So, but weekly schedules, based off a lot of flexibility and accommodating and adapting. And this morning, we kind of slept in. I intended on going to the gym. Still trying to get used to this new schedule. So no gym for me, but I found myself going to Sam's Club. Got coffee from a local coffee truck outside, Grayson Crowns, and actually ran into a referral partner of mine and a client that I'm working with now. Got to talk some loans and got to talk to her husband. And if you're listening, maybe one day you're going to become a mortgage loan originator yourself. So that could be exciting. The flexibility is huge. I don't feel bad about sleeping in because there are times where I work late at night. So, I feel well rested and energized, and I feel really good. Before I'd have to wake up at 6 a.m. and drive an hour and a half to work and don't get paid drive time. So now you're cutting out of your time with your family and sleep and just groggy and rushing out the door.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that we can build our own schedules, though.
Yeah.
That's part of my favorite part about this industry is like you work when you can. You try to work 24/7, really, but you kind of put things in place and work the little schedule that you've made for yourself, and you don't have to report to the office at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You can go to the coffee shop and mosey around the house a little bit, and then get to work at 10, and get your head down and grind all day, and then come home whenever you want. So
yeah, I think it's important to time block. Like the most important thing for me is like knowing what I'm going to do the next day. So the night before, being intentional with what you want to get done the next day and holding yourself accountable. Otherwise, you get nothing done and you make no money. So
yeah, you're not making money unless you're out there making money.
Is that your tagline?
Maybe.
Yeah.
How we divide responsibilities. I feel like we had the conversation earlier in our relationship that we didn't really believe in like husband roles and wife roles. A wife needs to stay inside and do all the housework, and the husband needs to stay outside and do all of the landscaping and the yard work. And that was a boundary that we set pretty early on. And I think it's been really helpful for both of us, dividing responsibilities, and then also with parenting and with working from home. I think that's been really a strong thing for us.
Yeah, it's boundaries with the house and then with parenting and personal time. So with parenting, I mean, early on with Camry breastfeeding, I found myself being in charge of diapers. I've met men that have never changed a diaper, even their own kids, So, a lot of that's just the boundaries that you set and, what you want to do as as a couple, but
The conversations.
the conversations and with having twins, all things are off the table. You just do what you can do. If kids are crying, you feed them more times than not. That's what they want. So
yeah, if dishes are there, clean them.
Yeah, dishwashers are great until it comes to baby bottles. So you go through a gallon of soap a month, it feels like, and those little bottle cleaners, that you're cleaning out bottles all the time. They wear out, so you have to have a surplus of bottle cleaners, and you have to have different nipples for different types of bottles, and depending on what they're eating, you have to vary the nipple that you use, and
laundry soap, different laundry
soap. And I guess that's something that I don't know, maybe my father didn't know. Like a lot of old time parents, like there was boundaries.
Yeah.
Right? Like you had roles.
You had roles.
I'm the man of the house. I come home, expect dinner to be ready. Now
I've been out working all day. I'm gonna kick my feet up now, and you're gonna continue. To parent.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get back to that. But
no, we won't. No. Don't
not.
accept that, ladies. No.
Yeah, no. I'm not as good as a cook as Camry.
But you do.
I'll make sure we at least have something to eat. I'll pick up food or.
You're the grill master.
Grill master.
There you go. I cook in the kitchen. You cook on the grill outside.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then mowing, like I don't mow very often unless Chance lets me, but I will definitely mow if I need to.
She's always welcome to mow, unless of course the yard's wet and we have zero turn and she thinks she's Ricky Bobby and like comes to a complete stop and peels the grass up and super proud of herself. And then me coming home to that, not knowing the situation, I was a little upset when that happened, but I've apologized and we're better now.
We've moved past it. Yeah. We're fine.
So.
So just those roles. I think the conversations, you need to have them ahead of time before you have children. And if you were to plan on working from home and for you both to be working from home, I think setting those boundaries ahead of time are super important because, you know, if you see something that needs done, do it. If a kid needs fed or changed, do it. It's not one person's job. We're a team. It's everyone's job. So I think that's so important for any couple.
Yeah, it kind of makes me sad. Really, if I'm at home and I'm on the phone, our daughter understands that we're on the phone, we're working. She even jokes, like on the phone making money, like. Yeah. So it's kind of cute, I really wish she didn't know that we work. I just wanted to be a kid, but that's what we sacrifice is taking phone calls during dinner and you know early morning Sunday morning phone calls. Clients that are concerned and need some clarification on different things. So there are times where daddy's got to step outside and take a phone call, or vice versa with Camry, or doing CMAs, or putting in late night offers, and so
we don't work a 9 to 5 job. You kind of work 24/7 job in this industry, and eventually we'll have the boundary set to where that's a little better. But right now, it's kind of just
survival.
Make
as much money as we can to provide for our families, and get
our names out there. Like working from home versus working in the office. We are working from home a few days a week and then also working in the office a few days a week. And so that difference is huge. Mm-hmm. I know Chance is not a big fan of working from home yet.
Yeah, I definitely won't ever be. I mean, I'm in my office right now recording a podcast. We could have done this in our basement, but guess what? There's footsteps upstairs and there's crying babies and the doors are opening and we got a dog that'll probably see a squirrel out back and start barking. And so I prefer to come to the office. It's what I've always known is like checking in, checking out, trying to maybe leave the work here and go home and just be a father, but that's not always the case, but try to make it that way. But I'm a vibe kind of person, I've built a new office here, not like a whole building, but just painted some walls and stuff. But, it's kind of like my little getaway. So I do like that. Camry's more so work from home. We work from our cars, like
I was sitting in the driveway the other day for an hour writing an offer, and I called him. I was like, "I'll be in when I'm done. I need silence for a second." Mm-hmm. So I think working from home it can be loud and noisy and hard, but Chance got me the noise canceling headphones, so if I need to, I'll just pop those in and jump on a phone call. Yeah. And nobody knows that I have kiddos screaming in the background. But working in the office, it's nice because you can really just tune into what you're doing and sit there for hours and just get a lot done. So something you can't do at home.
All right, so the crossover between family life and real estate, we kind of maybe covered some of this, but let's talk about our experience as parents and how we can help service like not just first-time home buyers, but home buyers, like what to look for, how to navigate the home buying process. A lot of people you talk to like, oh, I'm sorry, my kid's crying in the background. Like, trust me, I get it. Not a big deal.
I think I have that conversation once a week at least.
Yeah. I want people to appreciate me for the quality of work that I do and the service that I provide. I don't want them to think of me as like some uptight business person sitting in a bank. But I'm not that guy. Like, I might be working from home, taking care of my babies, but I'm also here to service my client.
And it humanizes you.
And humanize me, So
you always want that, and to be as personable as you can.
Yeah, I'm not above anybody. I'm just more knowledgeable in this line of field. Just like I don't know what my clients do for work, and as long as you have steady income and make enough money, I'll be able to help you. So or if you have any questions, and I'm not able to help you, I'm still going to try to guide you in the best direction, So.
Even like showings, I love when families bring their kids. And I've had a few people say, like, I'm so sorry, I have to bring my kid to the showing. I'm like, no, bring them. Like, please. They want to see the house. This might be their home. And it's nice for you to see your kids in the home, and, see the atmosphere. And they might look at the yard and their face might light up.
Yeah, picking out their bedrooms or anything.
Yeah, when they're older, they can pick out their bedrooms. I have a family right now that I've been showing properties to, and they're in contract now. And every time we would go to a showing, the kids would all disperse and find their own bedrooms and everything. Every single house we went to, they thought something was really cool. Mm-hmm. And I loved that. And just seeing their faces get all excited. And so that was a cool experience.
Yeah. And also with like home buyers, if they're not aware, like whenever they look for a home, keep in mind like the home itself, future plans of having more children, yard size, schools, neighborhoods.
Yeah, I feel like it feels.
Cameron and I checked all those boxes with our current home, but we didn't plan on having twin boys. So
soon.
3-bedroom home, pretty much. call it two
It's
because
cute.
one's in the basement and they converted another bedroom to a bathroom. So we have a family of 5 with 2 bedrooms, and we have 2 twin boys sleeping in bassinets with us that are
Yeah.
about to outgrow those soon as they start to climb on everything and becomes unsafe. So it's something we'll have to navigate. But buyers themselves, they might think, oh, I need a fence. Well, you can always buy the fence.
Yeah. That's something I always mention too. Like, I have clients with twin babies, and they're looking at a house that has a river in the back.
Mm.
And so the first thing we did, like, we walked out back, and I was like, fence. We got to make sure you guys are thinking about a fence because the safety is always important. It's always first. And so it's nice as a parent when you're a realtor or as a lender, like, you kind of put that parenting in your mind too, and you kind of help guide them in that way because it might be things that they don't think of.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know me personally, financing, like if they have kids, I just kind of think like don't max out your budget. I mean, think of maybe your kids in the future. For instance, 529 plans and savings for future education expenses. And there's a new law where you can pass or not pass, but transfer $35,000 to an IRA if they don't elect to use it for school. So we set our kids up. It's like $80 a month, and we're hopeful with the average rate of return that it'll be 35,000 by the time they're 18. So
Yeah.
they'll have that for schooling or just to roll over to an IRA and have it retirement. So
Yeah.
and also you can use IRA. You can use the money that you put into it to go towards your first time home. So maybe at 18 they could use that. So I never thought of that, but
yeah, and a lot of people don't know that those resources are out there.
right.
So if you guys do have any questions or you want any more details on any of those, reach out to Chance because he's our numbers guy.
All right. So first time home buyers, where to start? So where to start is the question, and people's main concern, and a lot of times they work it backwards. I think a lot of people start with the house that they fall in love with that they then find out they can't afford or don't want to spend that payment monthly. So questions to ask yourself. Yeah.
Find a realtor and send them the house, let her check it out also. But, the realtor will put you in contact with the lender to get you pre-approved. And from there, realtors and lenders will work together and they'll get your budget set up and they'll figure out what your price range is. And then they can discuss with you like what your criteria is. And then they can find you the perfect home, or it might be the home that you found. And then you could go and look at it. And at that point you could put an offer in. So it is a step process, and it can be stress-free if you have people on your side to help guide you.
Well, it can be really stressful if you try to do it by yourself. So whether you're using Google or you're reaching out to a trusted real estate agent or lender that you may know from the past, or asking somebody for a recommendation of just someone to talk to, but it's okay not to know everything. But it's I wouldn't live in fear. Just ask the questions you don't know, and
no stupid questions.
No stupid questions.
So deep diving into FHA.
Yeah, so deep diving into FHA. FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration. And even myself, really in the career, I guess buying homes and stuff, I didn't know, but I thought FHA stands for First Time Home Buyer.
I definitely did.
And I didn't care what they stood for. That's just what I thought it stood for. But
I don't even think I broke the letters down to really look.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, first time home buyer.
But every buyer, like, you offer an FHA. I was like, of course, everybody does. Like, we're all pretty competitive with FHA and conventional loans. Something that sets maybe different lenders apart would be like some down payment assistance programs that go hand in hand with FHA. Those assistance become available with a credit score of 580. And with FHA loans, you only need 3.5% down traditionally. But if your credit falls below that 580 mark, you're then required to put more down. A lot of times, 10%. Just add the level of security for the lenders, and the bankers. But who's it a good fit for? First-time home buyers, low down payment, and low credit scores. Because although it's FHA, it might not be the best fit for first-time home buyers. If you have a high credit score, you might find that a conventional loan would be better. And those are also nice because of your payment, and also no mortgage insurance, so you don't have to finance the mortgage insurance because you have more money down or a different style of loan. And with conventional, your mortgage insurance falls off once you have 20% equity on the property, and the lender's required to remove that when you have 78%. So if you don't say anything, it'll drop off at 20%. And
just because you had an FHA, before, it doesn't mean you can never use it again. You can have it again.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I get asked that a good bit. They're like, oh, I had an FHA in the past. I can never use it again. I'm like, oh, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You can use another one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, what's your take on that?
Yeah. I guess just to circle back around. So your mortgage insurance will fall off automatically once you reach 78% equity in the home. You can request it to come off at 20%. So I said that backwards, but.
And a lot of people don't know that.
No, they don't. So you lose out on that 2% and you pay.
Yeah.
So that's probably 1 year based on normal appreciation at 2.4% a year. So.
And it's if you own 20% of the property, right?
20% equity.
Equity of the property. So if you guys have purchased your home a while back and you know that you probably hit that 20% mark, or maybe at least under the 75% mark, talk to a lender, because you guys could probably get your monthly payment reduced because of that mortgage insurance that's on your monthly payment.
Yeah. And there are criteria where you can have more than one FHA loan at a time, depending if you have like a growing family, divorce, job relocation. But traditionally, you can't have more than one at a time, and there's a time frame that goes by to where you would be eligible for another FHA loan after selling that. So
that's awesome. I think that's really good insight too, because a lot of people don't know a lot about FHA.
Right.
So
yeah, and there's a lot of different things that are unique to the borrower too. So we have different systems in place to where you can put in people's information, run scenarios, run calculations. So it really is dependent on the borrower. The best thing to do is just talk to somebody and get started.
Yeah, you don't have to know everything before you get started, because it is our profession. You know a little bit more about it, and so ask the questions and get yourself set up for success. So
yeah, and you can get answers without pulling your credit. So a lot of people think that they're not ready based on credit, or I don't have enough money saved, but the thing is, let someone else decide that for you. Like, don't determine your fate without actually knowing the facts. So start the process, and if your credit score is low, you can bring more money. If you don't have the money and your credit score is good, you can get down payment assistance. So there are options, and a lot of people feel hopeless or just don't know everything. So just ask the right questions. And
there's credit rehab options too.
Yeah, you can build your credit up, and there's ways that you can get free credit. I think it's freecreditreport.com. You can do it once a year, softballing your credit, so no deduction in your credit score, and just inquire about your score itself and get an understanding of where you're at. And that's also available on your banking site or credit card platforms. You can kind of see your credit score at the bottom. And that kind of gives you a rough idea of what it's going to be. That's not exact, but just to wrap up, if you want to run us through that.
Yeah, well, thanks you guys for listening. Where to find us? You can find us on Spotify and YouTube at Married to the Market. On Instagram,
Chance.thelender.
And I am CamryStoffel.tcrealty. Follow us and share us with any friends on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening. We're excited to see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks.